皆さん、こんにちは。みーさチャンネル、資格ハンター編です。最新の英語ニュースを読み上げますので、英語の試験勉強やスキルアップにご活用ください。
Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi, others detained by military. By VOA News. Updated February 1st, 2021, 1:36 a.m. File police block a road in Naypyidaw, Myanmar, January 29, 2021, ahead of the reopening of the parliament on February 1st following the November 2020 elections which Aung San Suu Kyi's ruling National League for Democracy, NLD, won by a landslide. Myanmar's military-run Mayawati TV announced Monday the military was taking control of the country under a state of emergency because of a lack of action on the military's claims of voter fraud in November elections. The announcement came hours after Myanmar's de facto leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, and other ruling party officials were detained in a move that raised concerns of a possible coup. The actions came the same day a new parliament was supposed to be inaugurated. Aung San Suu Kyi and President Win Myint were taken early Monday, said the spokesman for the ruling party, the National League for Democracy. I want to tell our people not to respond rashly, and I want them to act according to the law, spokesman Myo Nyant said Monday, shortly before he was detained as well. As far as we know, all the important people have been arrested by the Burmese military, he said. So now we can say it is coup d'état. In Naypyidaw, Aung San Suu Kyi and President Win Myint has been arrested, I heard. But we are not sure about members of parliament in municipality compound, but we can assume that they have been arrested too. In a statement, the White House said, the United States is alarmed by reports that the Burmese military has taken steps to undermine the country's democratic transition, adding that the U.S. urges the military and all other parties to adhere to democratic norms and the rule of law, and to release those detained today. The United States opposes any attempt to alter the outcome of recent elections or impede Myanmar's democratic transition, and will take action against those responsible if these steps are not reversed, the statement said. File Myanmar State Councillor and de facto leader Aung San Suu Kyi arrives to vote early for the November 8 general election in Naypyidaw, Myanmar, October 29, 2020. According to a party official, she and others have been detained in a morning raid. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken added that the United States stands with the people of Burma in their aspirations for democracy, freedom, peace, and development, and called on the military to immediately reverse its actions. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres urged Myanmar's military leadership to resolve any differences through peaceful dialogue. The Secretary-General strongly condemns the detention of State Councillor Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, President Win Myint, and other political leaders on the eve of the opening session of Myanmar's new parliament. He expresses his grave concern regarding the declaration of the transfer of all legislative, executive, and judicial powers to the military, Guterres spokesman Stephen Dujarric said in a statement. These developments represent a serious blow to democratic reforms in Myanmar. Australia, India, and Singapore have all expressed their concerns about the situation in Myanmar as well. Phone and internet service in major cities in the country had been disrupted, according to multiple reports. MRTV, the state broadcaster, was off the air, reporting on Facebook that it was having technical issues. Soldiers were in the streets of both the capital, Naypyidaw, and the largest city, Yangon, according to multiple reports. Monday's developments followed months of tensions after the National League for Democracy's landslide victory in November elections. Myanmar's military claimed there had been voter fraud, an allegation rejected by the country's election commission. On Saturday, the Tatmadaw, the official name of Myanmar's military, released a statement arguing that voter fraud had taken place, and the international community should not be endorsing the next steps of the political process on a business-as-usual basis. The Tatmadaw is the one pressing for adherence to democratic norms, the statement read. It is not the outcome itself of the election that the Tatmadaw is objecting to. Rather, the Tatmadaw finds the process of the 2020 election unacceptable, with over 10.5 million cases of potential fraud, such as non-existent votes. In the past week, Myanmar's military had dismissed rumors it would launch a coup after the military's commander-in-chief, Senior General Min Aung, told senior officers that the constitution, which outlaws a coup, could be revoked if the laws were not being properly enforced. Over the past week, the military has deployed an unusually high number of tanks around the capital city, raising alarm among civilians and government officials. Supporters of Myanmar's military take part in a protest against election results in Yangon, Myanmar, January 30, 2021. Myanmar's newly elected parliament was expected to convene for its first session in Naypyidaw on Monday, February 1. The arrest of leaders in Myanmar, also known as Burma, is just the latest events in a country that has struggled between civilian and military rule and raises concerns that the nation's transition to a democracy has stalled. A British colony until 1948, Myanmar has been ruled by dictators backed by the military from 1962 to 2010. An uprising in 1988 pushed for an election in 1990, which the National League for Democracy, NLD, party won in a landslide, but the elected members of parliament were imprisoned and the dictatorship continued. Aung San Suu Kyi, the daughter of Myanmar's independence hero, General Aung San, who was assassinated in 1947, emerged as a leader in the pro-democracy rallies and in the NLD. She was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1991 while under house arrest. In 2010, Senior General Than Shwe announced the country would be handed over to civilian leaders, who included retired generals. They freed political prisoners, including the lawmakers from the National League for Democracy, and Aung San Suu Kyi, who was elected in a 2012 by-election and later became the State Councillor of Myanmar. But Aung San Suu Kyi, 75, while popular among Myanmar's Buddhist majority, has seen her international reputation decline over her government's treatment of the country's mostly Muslim Rohingya minority. In 2017, an army crackdown against the Rohingya, sparked by deadly attacks on police stations in Rakhine State, led hundreds of thousands of Rohingya to flee to neighboring Bangladesh. The International Criminal Court is investigating the country for crimes against humanity.
以上で、今回のミーサチャンネルは終了です。最後までご視聴いただきまして、ありがとうございました。よろしければ、高評価とチャンネル登録をよろしくお願いします。